You're listening to the Tarot Hour, live with Bonnie Michelle. Have questions about your future, departed loved ones, or anything at all? Call the studio line now at 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. And now, let's see what the cards have to say. Here's your host, Bonnie Michelle.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to Tarot Hour with Bonnie Michelle here at 1039 Studios. You can find me on Facebook at Bonnie's Tarot Card Readings and Parties. You can follow me on Twitter at Bonnie Tarot, and you can contact me privately at 917-902-8873. So I want everyone to pick up their pens and phones and give us a call here in the studio at 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. It's going to be a very exciting show this evening. We have a very special guest, Glenn Dove. Thank you, Glenn, for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Enjoy this.
He's a psychic medium. He's a numerologist. He's a certified hypnotherapist. We have a lot to talk about, folks. So definitely listen in. And before we start with him, I just want to make note that November 20th, I will be at a psychic night. That's November 20th at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's going to be at the Setauket Neighborhood House on Main Street in Setauket. You have to purchase tickets in order to meet one of the many medium psychics, tarot card readers that will be there that evening. All proceeds are donated to the cancer patients through Stony Brook Hospital programs. And to purchase tickets, give a call at 631-987-2442.
And tonight's, of course, show is brought to you by Walker Advertising for all your promotional items. I mean, these guys do everything. These are the guys you want to go for anything you want to put your logo on. That means any shirts, your caps, your calendars, your pens, your tote bags, mugs, and numerous other stuff. Anything you want to put a logo on, give them a call at 718-261-9749. That's 718-261-9749. Or check the website out at walkerpromo.com.
So, Glenn, I want to know, how did you start? Like, when did this begin for you?
We have that much time. Okay.
Well, the Shortbridge version.
Well, I was a young boy, probably about 4 years old, and had a minor operation. And she's going to look what story this is.
Right.
And I came home from the hospital, and in those days we didn't have baby intercoms, so my mom made me stay in my brother's room, and she said, if you don't feel well, you wake up your brother. In the middle of the night, I woke up and there was a man there, and I looked at him, and he had long hair and a beard, and he was speaking to me. But he wasn't.
You didn't get scared?
No, and I knew he did something to me. So I just knew that I wasn't frightened, and he wasn't speaking. It was telepathic. And he told me that my poppy would be going somewhere. He also told me he'd be going to school. So I guess I was about 4. That's about 1959. The next day, I said, this man came here last night. And she looked at me like, okay, but she wrote everything down. And shortly after that, she had received a painting called The Son of Man. I mean, in those days, I didn't come from an extremely religious family. I wasn't going to church. My parents didn't push any heavy religion on me. And I came running in from outside, and my mother had this painting called The Son of Man, a painting of Christ. And I looked and I said, there he is. And she said, what? And I said, that's him. So back in the 50s, there were magazines like Look and Life magazine, and they were very large. Sure. And she grabbed a copy of one that had Fidel Castro, and she said, is this the man? And I said, no. And then she grabbed the Smith Brothers cough drop box and said, are these the guys? I said, no. And I said, that's him. Right after that, my grandfather got lung cancer and died.
Oh, my God.
And I started to see him in the house. And I would tell things that he would say, and she would say, well, no, that's not going to happen. And then it would happen.
And this is at 4 years old?
Yeah, about 4 or 5. Then I got frightened of it. Blocked it, didn't block it, but always had it. And then I, was in my music career. At 25, I joined Ram Jam, which had the song Black Betty. It was a big, big song back in the 70s, yeah. And I was out on tour. We came back, and we were working, I think, on the next album, or we were working on another album. And our engineer, road manager, main guy in the band was killed in a motorcycle accident. Who's a Long Island kid from Setauket.
Right.
And that just set me off. And I went to see a psychic. And he said to me, you're going to do this. And I looked at him, and I think we were supposed to go to London to do the next album. And I went, you're crazy. And he said, you're going to be doing this. And then I ran into a Hindu astrologer and a tarot reader. And she got me a deck of cards, and I started doing tarot. I always tell people to use tarot cards as the first instrument. Like if you want to learn how to be a psychic, like you want to play the piano, start with tarot, and then you'll branch off into something else. And that was 33 years ago. I've been doing it professionally for 33 years.
That's amazing.
Wow, fantastic.
Now, how did you get into the hypnotherapy part?
Well, the guy that died, his sister, she had done hypnosis, and she got me into it. And then I took a few courses on it and was trained in it, but she was the one that started me in it. It kind of blends. Once you start playing, it's how do you play guitar, then you play piano, then you play...
Right, sure.
So, in all your practice, what would make some people go under and some people not? Because I know a lot of people think it's kind of hokey, that you go into a trance, so...
Some are afraid of it.
Yeah, it's not stage hypnosis. I don't do stage hypnosis, which is when you go to a bar and you watch this guy make somebody act like a chicken.
Right.
That's not what I do. People have strong wills and they don't want themselves. Like if a lady came in my office one day and she's sitting there, and in those days she could smoke, and she had her arms crossed with a cigarette, and she goes, I want you to make me quit smoking and stop drinking. And I said, it's not going to happen, because you look at you, your body language, your arms are crossed, you're puffing away.
Right.
You have to kind of want to quit. I don't do a lot of the smoking weight loss stuff. I only do that because if it's a client who needs it.
Right.
But the regression stuff, I've had people come in and plop books down on Edgar Cayce and tell me, I'm so into this, and I can't get them under. And another person walks in and says, I don't even know if I believe in this, and they're the best person. Not to be too resistant, just to come in with an open mind.
Right. Ken, have you ever tried hypnosis?
Yeah, they've never been able to put me under.
Me neither. I've tried it. I'm not going to say for what for, but I tried it, and I just felt, because I guess in my mind, I thought I had to be put under or put into a trance.
Right.
When the guy was just talking to me very calmly with affirmations.
That's it.
It's
repetitive, and I do a long induction, which is like, okay, we're going to relax your toes, and I go through the whole body.
Right, and
it's the whole thing, and that's it. And I kept saying to myself when I had it done to me, like, I hate to tell this girl it's not working. And at the end, it's just not working. I don't want to tell her. And at the end, she said, well, when I snap my fingers, you'll close your eyes. And she brought me out, and a few minutes later, she snapped her finger. And I thought to myself, I really don't want her to feel bad, like to think it didn't work. So I closed my eyes for a second. And then I said, wait a second. Did I do that because I wanted her to,
Right.
Yeah, you don't know you don't realize you're under.
Oh,
right.
Man.
So we're going to do things a little different tonight when we get a caller in, correct?
Right. When we get a caller, and I see the boards already lining up, that I will take their birth dates, because Glenn is going to use that as part of his numerology thing that he's so good at.
Well, I find on shows like this, sometimes I'll pick up something really quick, but for time reasons and other people want to get through, I usually have them ask a question, and I can usually work with the numbers, but I may go off while I'm looking at the numbers. And
I hear you. Do you want to try to, let's pick a caller?
Let's take a Kay.
Okay. Hi, good evening, Kay.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Thanks for calling in.
Okay, I'm so glad you were able to take my call.
Sure. Before we start, what is your birth date?
Do you need the year or just the month and the day?
If you want to give us the year. They don't know.
Some people don't want to give
That's
that.
Okay.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
How's about 9/13?
Okay.
Okay, so what is your question for me in the meantime?
Well, there was a period of time where things were looking okay in terms of guys and dating. Lately, things have cooled off, and I was wondering if you see anything
Picking
up as, time comes on.
Gotcha. All right, let me take a quick look for you. Okay. Well, it showed that you're coming out of a situation where you felt you had a couple of choices of a couple of people around you, and things were picking up, so you were really happy about that. And I kind of feel like it's slowly kind of moved away from that, and you were trying to figure out, well, now why is it getting like this, where all of a sudden you had a couple of choices and now it's got a little quiet. Now you're still hopeful. I still feel that there's one particular person that there's still some continual feelings for, and there is an earth sign man that I see coming up, or that you're still interested in. Now, I still see right now that you're going through a period of where you're going out, having good times, and things of that nature. But for the next 6 months, as far as the heavy-duty romantic situation, I kind of feel like it's a little bit slow getting back into the game. But I still feel that there's that earth sign man, so he's definitely around the corner. So let's see what Glenn says with the numbers.
Okay. First of all, she's actually in a 2, and I make a big joke about this in the office. I call it the marriage, divorce, conception cycle. Now, the thing is, though, we're at the end of the year, and I always say around November, you start to feel the vibrations of the new year. So think of November as you're driving down the road and you're getting on this bridge. And November, December, you're coming up, and then January, you come down. So it's the transition period. Right. There's also a William. I don't know if this is somebody in her family or somebody she's going to be dealing with. At first, I felt it was an older relative over, but it may be somebody that she's going to be going and dealing with. Also, she's got to watch somebody that has an issue of doing things in excess, which would be alcohol or people overdoing things. There's somebody around her, or she has to watch relationships with that tendency. She's actually going to have this very social time. I'm surprised for us, too, she didn't break up. But this year, she should have had a couple of things, but just didn't work out.
Right.
And yeah, around April. Now, I want to say next year is going to be kind of an exciting time. Just don't overdo it, but go for it. But it's going to slowly come in. By about April, it's going to start to happen. Who's the William? I keep getting William.
William?
Do you know any
it's a William or a
William?
Bill.
Bill?
Well, I say William because I give the name in the formal sense. And maybe somebody you're going to be coming in contact with. Because I saw your name on the board, that name came up and I wrote it down. And sometimes when we're on the air, people sort of lock up and it'll be like their brother and they won't even remember the brother's name. But keep a mind of that one. And again, watch people either do things like in the drinking cess or excess where somebody overdoes things.
That in terms of a family member?
Yeah, well,
or
family around you
guy?
was somebody connected to you. I felt it more family than I did relationship, but just watch the tendencies because the cycle you're going through also causes a lot of problems with people getting along with family members and relationships. That's going to be clearing. Without doing the full numbers in the year, it's hard to look at your oppositions, but you are going into a much more social, busy time as far as that goes. And I'm going to say, well, we're in November, so I would say 5 months. I'm almost on with the tarot reading. Around April is when you're going to start to see something coming in as far as that goes.
About April? Okay.
Yeah.
And I could give you my year after we get off the air.
Okay, Kay, thanks for calling in.
Okay, thanks so much, Bonnie and Glenn.
Okay.
Take care.
Fantastic.
We have another caller?
Yeah, let's go right into Joanne.
Joanne.
Yeah.
Joanne.
Okay.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Hi, where are you this evening? So what is your question for me this evening?
I would like to know a little bit about a special person that passed. I haven't really gotten any sort of contact, but I was just kind of curious if that person's around me.
She's actually got a male. When I looked at the board before, I thought you were going to pull her up first, and
Oh,
I didn't
really?
realize the K was working. But I'm actually getting an older person, which is interesting. So there's somebody connected to the dad's side that's coming through, but you have more than one male coming in tonight. And I don't know who had the problems with the head and the chest area, but there's something in that area that caused the problem. Who did you not get to them when they passed?
Oh, no, I was there.
No, somebody was not there. There was because they're making me feel like somebody's carrying this guilt thing, and they want me to drop it. Now I have two. Somebody was a little bit younger than I have a father figure as well. So
Okay.
and
Okay.
What is your birthday? What are your numbers?
7/19/1966.
oh, my wife's here. Okay, you're young.
Well, we'll wait for.
You can if
Glenn.
you want to do it. I'll
Okay.
figure the numbers while you
Okay.
do it this way.
What is that person's first name? That passed. Philip.
Philip.
Okay. Well, what I really like here is the star card for you. And what I asked is if there was any messages or any thoughts or any feelings that Philip had in your direction. And I definitely feel that there's a sense that he is around. It's like it definitely shows peaceful card. So he's definitely feeling that he's at peace with the Hermit card and the Star card altogether. And he feels that it shows that you are going to be fine with the Nine of Cups, that you are coming into a situation where you're going to be okay. And basically that's where he's leaning towards. Even if sometimes things don't feel like it is with the Five of Swords, like you're not getting to a point where things are really fulfilled the way you wanted to. He's basically saying that's more of a fear than a reality. And but with the World card, there's a lot of good things coming in your direction. And with that, Glenn Dove.
Yeah, I'm going to go over to you. Who had the cancer?
My dad.
Passed over.
Yes.
I don't. That's the older male, because I was getting a younger male, but that's the male that I sensed when I saw your name up on the board, and I see the deterioration. It was actually in more than one area, because people are going to say, "Oh, it was only in the chest." It was actually either in the prostate or the colon, and then it went up, or it went from the chest to the head.
That's right.
Okay. There's also. I got to go back now. Philip is not dad.
No, yes, he is. He has.
Okay. Was it a sibling or somebody didn't get? He's still going on with this. He's going to drive me crazy. And was around an anniversary or birthday when he died, or we're coming up on it. So either he went on an anniversary, birthday, or holiday, or we're coming up on it. And he's making me feel like they have to stop feeling frustrated. I don't know if there's only like in the last year or two, because I don't get this like as a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Now, is this what you're getting from all the numbers?
No, I'm getting this. When I just go over
no.
this. Actually, believe it or not, I'm surprised there wasn't a move in the family of somebody starting to sell some property, because I'm seeing a lot of transitions of domestic things. And for you, in any way, shape, or form, if something comes up in the form of training at your job or education, go for it. Because you have an opportunity coming up in front. Now, it's going to be a little bit of not a boring year, but it's going to be one where you're trying to just figure a lot out. And then what's going to happen is, by the later part of the year, it's going to get real busy. But something will come up in front. It's going to be to train you for a new position or give you new opportunity. Was Dad not speaking well? It was his lungs, or he keeps giving me his throat?
It was his lungs, and then to the brain.
Because I thought it was either colon to lungs or lungs to brain, because he's making me feel it went up. Also, I guess it was you, because he's telling me that somebody had told him to go, but he wasn't able to respond, and there was an older woman there when he passed. There was an Ann or Anna also, and he's telling me something about this person was waiting, so he was like in and out towards the end. But I said, so let the family know not to feel frustrated who wasn't there.
Okay, I will tell her that.
Okay.
That's great.
Thank you for calling in.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Oh, boy, it gets very busy.
You know, it's funny. I was going to say I thought she was first, and then I realized the other girl was ahead.
Right.
Can you pick something up just by seeing somebody's name?
And sometimes we get this with the shows. I'll write a name down, and it's for the next caller, or sometimes I've had a guy come in my office one morning, and I kept thinking of Frank, and the first reading came in, and nobody took the name. Second reading, something like third or fourth reading, and the last one of the day comes in, all of a sudden I go, here we go again, Frank. And the woman goes, oh, that's my father. I've been waiting for him. So he was there the whole day.
Oh, he was just waiting for her to come in.
In this medium, it's very weird, because you'll get people coming in ahead of time.
Right.
That can happen.
Wow. So give us a call in the studio, 631-451-1039. 631-451-1039. You can find me on Facebook at Bonnie's Tarot Card Readings and Parties. Now, if someone wanted to find you, where would they find you?
I mean, the website's glendove.com. I spell my name with two N's, but if you misspell it, I have it set up that you'll still get there.
Really?
It's Glenn.
Ken does the same thing. He put an extra N in his name.
I noticed that
too.
when we were
it's Glennndove.
But you weren't born with that. You weren't.
Yeah, that's my name.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, when I was in the music industry, they thought I changed my name. Dove is a Scottish name. I'm actually half Italian. My mom's family was born in Italy, but Dove is Scottish, Celtic name. Right. And then that's if you hear somebody with the name Dove, most likely they're from Virginia or West Virginia down south. That's where most people came in. The phone number, I'm in Nassau, and the phone number is 516-223-2567.
It's okay. Sometimes, listen, we get brain
fog
sometimes.
You know something I don't usually give out, because I don't handle the phones. But 516, if you Google me, there's,
tons of stuff.
This stuff will come up. Yeah, a lot of stuff will come up.
So what's going on as far as the music's concerned? Is anything happening?
Yeah, it's funny. my career was music for many years, and right now I'm working with a group called Breakfast Club, and we're doing an 80s. It became so popular. Every time we'd start to play, people would be like, they'd like the 80s stuff, the Depeche Mode. So we just kind of regrouped the show, and we're just taking a short break right now, but usually we'll be back. And in the summer, I'm always at Deer Park a lot, at Tanger's Outlets. We do some concerts there. And it's usually, if you look around, we're playing. And I'm taking a slight break from that. I have a book just about finished.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's been sitting around, and I keep pulling it out and starting on it, and I say I'm going to do it. And then yesterday, I just started a TV pilot. We just started shooting, so...
And I see that we are coming up to a commercial break. So again, give us a call in the studio, 631-451-1039. Bonnie's Tarot Card Readings and Parties at Bonnie Tarot. Or call me privately, 917-902-8873. Come on back.
You're listening to the Tarot Hour, live with Bonnie Michelle. Have questions about your future, departed loved ones, or anything at all? Call the studio line now at 631-451-1039. That's 631-451-1039. And now, let's see what the cards have to say. Here's your host, Bonnie Michelle.
And welcome back to the Tarot Hour, second half of that hour. Please give a call to the studio, 631-451-1039, and join me with Ken and our special guest, Glenn Dove, psychic medium, who works in numerology, certified hypnotherapist. We can find him at what's the website?
GlennDove.com.
Well, that's that's a good thing. It's very easy to remember with two N's, people, two N's.
Well, like I said, if you type it in wrong, it'll still take you there, but it's two N's.
Right, but no Facebook or Twitter, not.
No, usually I just use the website.
You just use the website, okay.
Great.
And you can find me on Facebook, Bonnie's Tarot Card Readings and Parties. You can follow me on Twitter at Bonnie Tarot. You can contact me privately at 917-902-8873. So if you can't get in through this evening, I do apologize in advance. The monitor's going crazy,
phone lines are lighting up.
And see, even my mind goes blank a little bit for a second here. Oh my gosh. But I wanted to ask you, do you ever go up to a stranger if you feel anything? Do you pick up anything from a stranger when you're walking down the streets?
I don't. I don't usually get something that way. I was saying before, I had a situation where I was getting a tire balanced on my car or something. There was this old woman next to me, and I knew her husband had died. And I almost wanted to lean over, but I don't say it. I haven't seen the show, the Long Island Medium. I know who she is. I haven't seen her.
Oh, so you never met her? Or
no,
anything?
I don't know her.
Okay.
And but I mean, I've seen commercials, and it seems from what I understand, she goes up to people. I don't want to say it's an invasion because I guess it works for her. Mm-hmm. I kind of find like I work privately. People come to see me one-on-one, and I find in group situations they will not acknowledge. Mm-hmm. I was at a show one night, and a very well-known psychic from Long Island was doing a big show, and I was backstage, and I came out, and somebody I knew was in the front audience, and he went right over to the guy, and I went, oh my God, he's going to read my friend, and he says, okay, who's the fireman? And my friend's a fireman, and he was with his girlfriend. He's married, but he's with his girlfriend, and he's not raising his hand because he doesn't want anybody to see that he's there. And the psychic kept going, no, right here, I see a New York Fire Department sign, and I'm thinking, why is my friend raising his hand? And I realized, oh my God. So a lot of times people will not acknowledge things in front of the public, or on radio it's a little different, but I don't get it. I when I leave the office, when I go in the morning and I open up that door, I'm on, and my mind is totally zen, and I am in the moment, and I don't think of anything else. Matter of fact,
do you do anything to prepare yourself?
No, I could have the most stressful morning at the house, and when I walk into that office, it's like every thought goes, and I sit, and then when I leave and I lock that door, I'm back on. I shut it off. So that's why I like a place to go and work. I just get into like an alpha state.
Oh, that's pretty good. Me, I take it wherever I go. Have cards, we'll travel.
Let's take some of the calls.
Okay.
All right, let's pick up Barbara.
All right. Hi, Barbara.
Yes, hi, Bonnie.
Hi, and what is your birthday, your numbers?
8/17/58.
Okay, 8/17/58. And what is your question for me this evening?
It's work-related, Bonnie. I have a lot of changes going on at work right now, and a lot of responsibilities are falling on me, and I'm kind of nervous that I'm not going to be able to handle them. So I want to see if you saw any relief in the
all the craziness that's going on there, and if
Haven't even done your numbers yet.
I know he's ready to spit out some words. So I'll let him speak.
I'm looking at the board, and we're picking names. And as your name came up, I wrote money next to your name before you came on the air. So that means that
no wonder you wanted her first.
Yeah,
okay.
there's going to be. I'm going to do her numbers now, but there's going to be a relief of money if something comes up with that. So I don't know if I'm going to disagree with myself when I get to the numbers, but she is going to have some
money, some good money situations coming up. Let's take a look.
That sounds good.
Well, the first thing it shows is that you like your job immensely.
Okay.
And, but I also see a conflict of a choice that has to be made. Sometimes you feel a bit overwhelmed about the responsibilities, even though you're very good at handling it. Now, it's interesting that Glenda brought up the money situation because the Ten of Pentacles is crowning, which means financial stability. So the future definitely looks extremely promising, and I feel that there's some offers that might come your way as well. Some other opportunities, some, more advanced a work scenario will definitely come in your direction. And I think you're hesitant about whether or not to move forward with that. But it definitely looks pretty promising, though. It definitely looks good financially, even though you feel a bit, you question this opportunity, whether it be location change, but it's definitely something that's coming literally right around the corner, if not very, very in the near future, very soon.
And it looks like I'll be able to handle these responsibilities. I'm very...
You're hesitant.
Yeah.
Right. Well, even though if you feel a bit overwhelmed, I think you're going to handle it beautifully. So if you go for it, you're going to do really well. I know you hesitate, but it looks good. And let's see what your numbers show.
Okay. I'm doing so many different things with this.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, actually, the money thing is, I don't know if there's a place you're working where something is splitting, because I keep feeling like a company or a place I'm working for is going to be either taken over, something's going to change as far as that goes, or could have already happened this year. The number that you're going to be going into usually indicates a slight increase in finance. When I say I see finances improving, there's that game of telephone, and you say something. I told a person that they should buy a rub-off lotto ticket not too long ago, and I said, you're going to win $10. Mm-hmm. About a week later, I found out that I told somebody that they were winning $1 million, because it went from one friend to the next, and they kept exaggerating.
Oh, my goodness.
So when I say I see your money increasing...
Well, did they win anything?
I don't know. But when I see it increasing... it's actually going to be into the new year. What's going to happen also is you're going to have some things coming up that's going to be family-wise, and don't let it stress you out, because there's a whole issue with this where one in the family is going to turn around. I don't want to say lay guilt on, but it's going to be a little bit of a pressure thing with an older female. And you tend to not speak up enough in situations. And you may want to keep that attitude. But so just be aware, and this is going to be around February or March. I'm going to say from February 17th, and I'm not doing this with the numbers. This is just coming up to the middle of March. Watch some family situations that arise where sometimes I feel you need to just take a little more control of things. But you will see somewhat of an increase of money. Don't be afraid to be a little stronger in work situations and speak up a bit more, because it's this tendency where you're probably more qualified than most of the other people, and yet you're insecure about it.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the case. I mean, and it's typical with your numbers. You didn't even go into what they call the second stage of life until you hit 35. And so that was like late, many people going a bit earlier. But you will start to see, actually, you should be almost seeing it now. Sometimes what happens is I'll say you're already in the cycle, and people tend to just have their head down. So just get a little more aggressive, in other words. And like I said, there's going to be a little more family stuff coming up in front. Don't be afraid to open up your mouth. Not that you're going to start big arguments, but there's going to be a lot of family stuff. And is somebody changing a school, a younger person going into a new school? Not you. It's somebody's going to change, because I told the caller before that they're going to train. I feel somebody's got a training situation, but it's for a young, not a little kid. It's somebody who's like more of like a young adult. And it's not, it's going to be for them. It's a male. And they're going to have some sort of an opportunity, but it's going to have something to do with an education, career, or something with them training at work.
And it's a male? Okay.
Yeah, it's a male, not a female. You might say I want it to be, no, it's not. It's going to be for a male.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate that.
All right. Thanks so much, Bonnie. Thank you, Glenn.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Right.
All right, maybe we should go to the next call. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people waiting.
Okay,
All right, who's
let's,
next?
Let's take Trisha on
Online. Hi, Trisha.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for calling in. What is your birthday?
8/18/1964.
3/18/1964.
It's August 8th. It's 8/18 or 8?
18th. August 18th,
August-
1964.
Okay, so it's
August 18.
8/18/64. Okay.
Okay, and what is your question for me this evening?
I lost someone, and I just wanted to see if they're around, and also just see what this year is going to bring for me.
Okay, what?
I don't know if she's the one, because I've been saying it while we were off the air. There's somebody who lost a younger person tonight. I don't mean like grandpa and dad. This is somebody who's a bit younger. They've been walking around the studio. There's a younger male here. And it's going to be you or it's one of the other callers coming up.
Do you feel anything of a connection with that?
No.
No.
All right.
Okay, so maybe it's someone else on the line. What is the person's first name that you're inquiring about?
Homer.
I'm sorry?
Homer.
Homer?
Yeah.
Don't laugh. That's my grandfather's name.
Is
My
it-
father's father, like the
Is
dove
that
I told
really?
you.
I never
I
hear
told
that
you
much
we're
from
from, my father's family's from West Virginia. And his father died my grandfather died before World War II, but he was Homer. So Homer Dove is actually my grandfather's name.
Oh, cool.
Of course, now it's Homer Simpson. That's
Right.
Right.
Everybody
Oh,
thinks
my
of Homer
goodness.
Simpson.
Yeah, I know. You must get a lot of that. But,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
um,
No such thing as a coincidence.
what's it, 1964, okay.
Well, I see a lot of very family-oriented cards here, and definitely a male presence. Very, very strong showed up. Very strong person, actually. Wow. Definitely, I kind of feel like he comes and goes, kind of a situation. With the Knight of Swords, I usually feel that someone kind of in a way swoops in, leaves, comes back, and also I feel that you're going through some major changes happening for you as well with the Death card. Now, the Death card I know sometimes can be extremely scary, and people misconstrue what that means sometimes, in the sense of a physical death. But here, it's a transformation that you're going through. So for the next several months, I feel that things are definitely going to change and move forward for you. And but I definitely feel that Homer is a very strong presence, and I feel that he does come and go, and I definitely feel a very I have to say it again, but very strong family cards around you. So family's going to be very important coming up for you. And so Glenn,
Okay.
what would you like to say?
It's interesting. I actually there's an older male, but there's somebody, you're going to laugh, somebody lost a dog as well. And not only do I
really?
feel an older male here, but there's
Wow.
somebody had a dog that they was very, very close with. That's over there also. She's in what's called a 33-6, which is interesting. In numerology, we call that the Christ vibration. Did this death happen recently?
A year ago.
Yeah, okay. You go into...
It was the anniversary just passed.
Yes, because you're going to go into, right now, you're going into 2015. So as of September, October, actually, just after your birthday, you start to feel the vibration of the new year. So if I was reading you last September, a little after your birthday, last September, October, I would have been, at that point, you would have saw this happening, because that's when you started to enter the 6. For the most part, as far as your numbers go, it's over. Somebody's holding on to something also. It's almost like when somebody's holding on to a watch, or a watch you'd want to hold on to, but it's like a jacket or a shirt or something. But there's items of this person that I feel somebody's holding on to, and it's not a bad idea, but it's almost like, I don't want to say holding them back, but it is holding them back just a little bit. You're going to go into not a depression, but you're going to go into a cycle into the next year where you're going to spend a little more time in retrospect thinking, where do you want to be? Where do I want to go? That's a good thing. Don't fight it. It's almost like as if you had a cold, snowy day. You don't want to go outside and drive in the snow. You want to take it easy. So the 7th cycle year you're going into is one where you want to sit back a little bit and just let things happen. We tend to be a little more on the spiritual side. Is your dad crossed over?
Yeah.
Because
that's my dad.
Oh, because he's the one with the dog, and I don't know when he was a kid he lost the dog. Was he from out of state?
No.
All right. There's something about somebody down south that he's with, or spent a lot of time down south.
His sister.
Okay, because there's somebody, and I don't know who had the bad headaches or the pressure in the head, but one of them had some difficulty in their head. And there's an animal that's with them as well. And he was acknowledging, I don't know whether it was the anniversary, but there was something about in the last month or so that he's giving me.
Well, my dad passed away on October 20th. Dave.
Oh, okay, it's right near my birthday, actually. Well, because it was right around that time last year is where you started to go into the 33-6. It's kind of weird because sometimes somebody could give me their numbers, and a child is born, and I'll see this number, and I'll say, they're going to lose somebody young. How could you say that? Because it's just there. Right. But it just shows you that this was in your chart. I would have told you this 20 years ago. So it was kind of meant to be with it. But I feel he's in a good place. But that other woman who's with him, and he had missed her quite a lot.
Yeah, that was his sister.
Yeah, and it's not a wife. It's going to be, mother. But in this particular case, it was almost like a partner for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for calling in with your question this night.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Do you ever hold back from telling anything negative?
Interesting quick story. I was reading for a woman some years ago, a young woman. She came in with a cane,
right.
And she sits down, and I'm reading, and I said, who is? And I forgot the name, like Robert. And she says, oh, that's my uncle passed on. And I could sense this man behind her, looking at her, like coming to get her. Mm-hmm. And I looked at her, and I'm like thinking, why would he be coming to get her? And she says, I got like stage 4 cancer, but I'm going to beat this. I'm going to do this through a diet. And I'm looking, going, oh, no, you're not. You're going to be over in like 2 months. And I would not tell her that.
Right.
Because in hypnosis, I found that the power of the mind is so strong. It's not for me to tell somebody.
Right.
And timing, as far as psychics go, remember once I read, my brother asked me, who never does, asked me for a reading, and he asked me when his father-in-law was dying. It was May, and I tell the story all the time, and I said, June 6th or June 7th. Well, June 6th and 7th came, and nothing happened. Mm-hmm. By September, my sister-in-law started to feel like, okay, Glenn was wrong. Right. He died June 7th the next year.
Oh, my God.
It was 13 months.
Wow.
So timing is a weird thing with readings also. It's not always instant gratification.
So you would never read for a family member?
I do.
You do?
I have to. As a matter of fact, this week I have some family readings to do because there's an anniversary of a passing in my family. So I don't like to because I know everything about the person.
Right. So doesn't that jade you a little bit?
Yeah,
or?
and something that I say and pisses a lot of psychics off, sorry to speak that way, but I tell people not to ask me questions when you come in to my private readings, because if you walk in and say, how's my mother's health? How's my brother's marriage? You just told me that your mother's sick and your brother's getting divorced.
Right.
I know in this type of medium, we have to move along to take calls. Mm-hmm. So when you go to a psychic, try to let them start. And then if I say to you, who's going through you can answer.
Right.
But you have to be careful with giving too much information up in that situation.
I hear you.
Wow.
All right, let's see if we can get
We'll
another
one
caller
more
in.
if we can. Okay, we got Mary.
Hi,
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how are you? You got a lot of energy here. Thanks.
How are you?
All right, thanks for calling in. What is your birth date?
62359.
62359. Okay, that's
6/23,
623.
1959. And she sounds about 20 years younger than that. So.
My. So tell me, what is your question for me this evening?
I don't know. I guess it's another work question,
That's okay. We take all questions, it's okay. So you want to know about work?
Yeah.
Okay. While Glenn is working on your numbers, I'll take a quick look here.
Sure.
As much as I love iPhones, the calculator does not work as well on my iPhone as it does on my watch.
Do you carry a calculator with you?
I just use it there. Usually I can do it in my head, but if I want to get a lot of different numbers up.
Right. I definitely see some concerns or worries with work right now. I feel that you're a bit frustrated and you're trying to figure out where things are going, and that maybe you're thinking about a change. And because I definitely feel moving forward, going in a different direction here. But the thing is, it's showing me to be a little bit realistic. That sometimes when I see the moon card, that sometimes either not thinking things clearly, not being realistic, not seeing the full picture for what it is. But I definitely sense a frustration period that you're going through right now. But I definitely feel that you're probably going to either do something or something that you're very familiar with, comfortable with, something that you've done before. But I definitely feel a sense of a change, but much of a better change, though, when it comes to that. So let's see what Glenn has to say.
And as I'm looking over here,
I
she has to stop. Yeah, she has to stop
yeah.
worrying about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm surprised you didn't change a position or lose something already, because you're actually going to be coming out of what you're fearing. It's going to be a little bit more time. You're in a 9, which I can't stand.
Well, that's usually endings, right?
Yes,
yeah.
and I'm almost surprised there wasn't a position change last year. Who's the James, John or James?
John.
Yeah, because it's either I'm getting J.A., so that's Jack or James.
There's John and a James.
Because J.A. is Jack or John and J.A. is James. I'm getting both. I don't know if this is family people you're dealing with.
No, James was a very good friend, and John was a good friend too. Yeah.
Who was over, though? Was one of them passed?
Both of them.
Okay,
passed.
one was either accidental or on the quick side. I think that's one of the people I was feeling before. I know we're going to be running out of time soon. Mm-hmm. I don't know which is. I think it's the James. As one makes me feel like he wasn't in a clear state of mind before he passed. He's doing very, very well. The work situation's not going to be as quick as you want, but you're going to start to see it by about May or June of next year, possibly a little bit before.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to cut it off, but thank you for appearing, Glenn. I appreciate it. And there we have it. Thank you for listening.
My pleasure.
Thanks for coming in, and you can reach me at 917-902-8873. You can reach Glenn
at 516-223-2567 or glendove.com.
Thank you, guys. Peace and love, everybody. Till next time.